I haven't done a in the shop video. Well, I haven't already done any videos for probably over a month now. But so I picked this part just for the sake of doing a video. Nothing too exciting. So just making this part, not the actual base plate. So it gets bored through that plate there and plug weld on the back there, as you can see. So to glue that onto that plate. So just running these blocks at the moment. Just take you over onto the CNC mill and just show you a little bit of the setting up the tools. I've already measured the parts, so I don't want to drag it on for too long, but just sort of show you a little bit in the actual how I measure the tools more so, and then just run the cycle. So coming down and drilling, well, this hole here, so spot and then drill through. So coming down, just move that out the way so you can have a look. Coming along in these spots here, 10 of them on this fixture, which you'll see in the machine anyway. Spot and then drill through. I stand the fixture up and then poke down through these holes here. Spot, drill and tap to give me that drill and tapped hole on top there. So I've got two of these fixtures, so we'll just swap them over from the machine backwards and forwards. And I've got some bushes I'm running on the manual lathe at the moment. I haven't got all the material, but just working on what I've got. 10 of one lot of bushes and 10 of another set of bushes. I might include that into this video because I've got to get that done this week as well, so I'll probably try and show you a little bit of the bushes that I'm making. But anyway, just go over onto the CNC mill and just show you more so measuring the part and just sort of showing the part running in the machine, just little bits and pieces along. You won't be able to see much of it because of the coolant, but just sort of bring you along for a bit of a look. So the fixture held in the 3 jaws at the moment. I'm not too sure, it's probably echo inside the machine at the moment. I've got this drill this is my finishing drill to run the holes through, and I'm just going to measure that one, just show you a little bit of the sequence just for the sake of it. I just use a little gauge block to be able to set it, and I'll just show you how that works on the controller. As I say, just try and add a little bit in there and just sort of understand a little bit about. There's no real set size of what block you can actually measure on the actual surface, or you can measure to a gauge block like that. So that's usually what I use, and just bring the tool down on there. So I'll just get you set up and just show you a little bit of that. So just bringing the drill just above the part. I've already set it up just so it doesn't drag the video on too long. With that gauge block I just showed you, just running underneath it, a little bit like the piece of paper theory that some people would like to use, but I just use the gauge block, and it doesn't really matter what size the material. As I said, it'll make a bit more sense when I take you up with the control, and it's just that fit under there. And we're not too concerned about it because it's just a drill. We're not doing a milled finish or anything like that. So it's just to set the height above the actual part, so we don't run the drill straight into the part, just to give the machine a position above the part. So just take you up under the control and just show you how that works. Hopefully you can see that okay. Of course, when you point a camera at a screen, it gets all these wavy lines on there. You can't really do much about that. You have to bear with me. As you can see, Siemens controller, it just tells me the tool in there. So tool 9, which is what I'm measuring at the moment, feed and spindle, so on, as far as spindle speed and so on there, machine position, and just the tool change. So I've got to set so when you want to change the tool, this is the tool that you're choosing, spindle speed. This is just more so what they call TSM screen, what you can see down the bottom corner here. So TSM is tool, spindle and M code. So you can sort of like warm up your machine more so on this screen without actually going in and having to write a program to run the spindle for whatever reason. You can call up a tool and things like that and choose your spindle speed and direction and so forth, and other offsets and so on. I won't get too much into that if you want to use M codes in there, as I say, with the TSM. So all I do is with the tool I've got in the machine at the moment, so just go down to the bottom of the screen and just press the soft key there for the measure tool, and then it comes up in the top corner there. Hopefully it's getting into the camera. I've got measure manual and measure auto. So that's for a probe if you want to use a probe. So you can use a touch-off, I should say, not a probe, but a touch-off, electronic touch-off tool on the actual workpiece, which I don't have or don't use anyway. And then measure manual, which was what we do. So just press that, changes the screen, and it just prompts you on what you've got to do. So there's a little picture of your tool there. And then you've got a few options here, so I'll just scroll back up to that. You just scroll through that using the select button. It just changes from workpiece to fixed point. Hopefully that's coming out. Hopefully you can see that through the wavy lines. And the fixed point will be just, and then whatever your actual size of the actual tool or whatever you're using, or gauge block in my case, is 10 mil. So we just put in 10 mil in there, and that just adds on to the actual tool height. And then just go over and press select length, and that just changes the offset down there. So that's put that into the control now for tool offset on tool number 9, and then we're ready to go. So I'll just sort of bring you back and just, as I say, walk you through a little bit of it, and showing you as much as I can through the screen. As I say, but we just show you a little bit of it on this face, and then flip it around and just show you a little bit of the drill tap. Also got a few bushes to do. Just cutting these on the bandsaw at the moment. I've got 10 of these and 10 of this size here. There's probably a bit more work in these ones. The ones on the right there, they're pretty straightforward. So all they have to do is with those is they just get faced off both sides and then knock the center out there to the size. And just a chamfer on the OD. So that's not too bad. That one, they're just welded on bushes, so they're happy for the black finish. And same thing with these. This is all the material I can get at the moment. I've got enough to get 5, and I'm still waiting on material to do the other 5, so that should be ready to pick up tomorrow. Another 2 more to cut on the bandsaw at the moment, just running that while I'm setting up the mill. So as I say, I might bring you along for that. That's the same as the ones on the right, just face bore, but on the OD, I've just got a flat on here on the manual mill, and drill and tap, and just a drill and tap hole from the side. Nothing too exciting, but just sort of show you a little bit of it, just what's going on in the video, you know, what's going on in the shop today. Just bring you along for a bit of a look. To say nothing too exciting, just a bit of a day in the life of video. That's probably it for all I can think of for the moment. I'll just get these last ones cut, and once I've got 10 of them, I might show you a little bit on the lathe, probably, if I think of it anyway, if I feel it's worthwhile, and work our way through that. So a bit of a combination of a few things going on at the moment. So doing sort of like 3 jobs at a time at the moment. Cutting these, setting up the machine, and trying to get the fixture set up. I'll show you a little bit more on that fixture anyway, as far as actual setups and so on as we get further in the video. I'll show you how I set it up and so on. I won't show you the whole setup on how I put it together. You don't need to see every little part of it, but with these fixtures that I made a few years ago, probably over 10 years ago now, so I put 10 of these in the machine at a time. So I have, as I said, two of them, so I'm just changing them over as I'm working through, and just running the bushes on the manual lathe at the same time, which is good when you can combine your work there. I don't get a lot of time in between the fixtures where I need to flip them over from machining this side, and then I've got to stop and then come back and stand them up in there, and then clamp them up in the vise again, and then come along and do the drill tap. By the time I'm doing that and then change over the parts, there's not a huge amount of time to really stand around, so I'll see how I go in the manual lathe if I get time to do it. I'll try and do as much as I can on manual lathe at the same time, trying to get them bushes made. I just make use of the time, so I'm not standing there just looking at the machine running. Just putting these in, you could probably see little dowel pins in there inside that fixture there, and I just have a bolt between each one which clamps the actual fixture together. And then I just come along and check it with a feeler gauge. So I've got the thinnest feeler gauge I've got. I can't remember what size that is, but it's the thinnest one in the big set of them. And just coming along and just set the feeler gauge in there to set the gap along there. I just go along individually, and then just, if they need a bit of a knock up, I just knock them up with the brass punch. So they don't usually, not out by much. And then when I got them all right, then I just come back and tighten all these 5 bolts along here, and then just come along and do another sanity check. They usually don't move, but occasionally they might a little bit. But when they go into the vise, they get clamped again anyway. So I'm not just relying on the bolts to clamp them in there, with the 3 vices that'll hold the fixture as well. But that's just so the parts don't move in between taking them off this bench and then walking across the other side of my workshop and putting them in the machine, so I can check them all anyway. There's not a lot of high torque on those. It's just more so just to clamp it together. I just thought I'd just show you that just for the sake of it anyway. And as I say, just that feeler gauge to set each one. It goes together fairly easily. I was going to show you sort of doing it me setting it all up, but it'll just drag on the video, and it'll get a little bit like watching paint dry if I'm doing that, just to try and speed things up a bit, sort of get the gist of that, and just running them in the a little bit in the CNC Mill, as I say, and then just come back and show you a little bit of the job that I'm running on the manual lathe as well. You can't see much, but I just thought I'd just show you the end of the spotting cycle, and just take you inside for a quick look anyway. The time certainly goes on the video. I'm just looking at it now and already burned up 10 minutes already. As you can see, just come along with a 12mm spot drill, get a nice register on there for the drill to come down and just bore through all those. So it takes a little while to go through it, but they are 40mm blocks, so there's a fair bit of material to remove. And so just work away at that, and as I say, it's a good job to run when I'm on the manual lathe as well. I can combine it with something else. I've got to run about 250 of these, so it's a pretty bit of a drawn out job. Not in a panic for them, but just run it when I can run it, supplying the customer as they need them, and just sort of working, as I say, working way along. I probably won't worry about showing you any more of the drilling. It's probably you get the gist of it anyway, and each one I'm just drilling through with that bigger drill I just showed you that we measured, and then just sort of working my way through there. And as I say, I might just flip the jig up and just show you it drilling through these holes here, where it just pops down and starts drilling those holes through there. Just show you a little bit of the spotting with those drilled and tapped holes with the fixture up on its edge now. And sort of the spotting is probably the most interesting part because it goes pretty quick. So I'm just wrap it into those holes and then spot the part, ready for the next drill. I wasn't planning on showing you the tapping cycle, but I just thought rigid tapping is pretty exciting, I suppose, for a machinist, I suppose. Gone are the days of using tapping heads and things like that. So the good thing about the fixture with the holes in there, you've got plenty of coolant down inside those bores, so the coolant's flushing down inside the bores ready for the tap to go through. Using a M6 gun tap too, so for those who are curious. So just working our way through, so I've got 3 more to go, and then take you over to the bench and break open the fixture and give you a bit of a look at the parts all sitting in the fixture. Just give you a bit of a look with the fixture pulled apart. As you can see, the top portion and the lower portion with those pins in there to line it up, to give you my positions, and those drilled and tapped holes along there. If those holes look off centre, that's because they're 1mm off centre, so the holes are all pushed over to one side. I'm not very sure if you can see that with the larger holes, but possibly you might be able to see it with those. So we're 1mm over to one side on all of those. So the fixture normally goes pretty well. The other fixture is still sitting there. Normally what would happen is, as soon as I put this one on the bench, that one would go into the machine and I start pulling this one apart. But because it's lunchtime, I'm going to leave it till after I have lunch. So, and we're still a little bit of time left in the video, like 13 minutes into the video, so I might show you a little bit of the bushes. The video doesn't seem to be getting too long. I was a bit concerned about it getting up a bit long for you guys, but I will bring you back for a little bit of a look at those bushes, and just as I say, it's a bit of a day in the life, I suppose, job, I suppose. Just running those on the manual lathe at the moment as I'm doing these, and then over onto the manual mill just to machine a flat spot on them. But also I forgot, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier in the video, I've got to put a spiral groove in those bushes, so I might give you a bit of a look at that. I don't know if I'll worry about showing you the actual procedure on the machine because you can't see much, but maybe just show you a little bit of the after the part's finished possibly. And as I say, then over onto the manual mill to finish the job off, and that'll do the video for today. Obviously not everything will get done today because I'm still waiting on materials, but just a bit of a look at what's going on in my shop today. Just back looking at those bushes again that I was showing you in the earlier part of the video. It's all in sequence for me. I've got to sort of stick all this video together, one of my very rare edited videos. That's those bushes that were over on that right hand side earlier in the video. As I say, so just faced and run through on the bore, as you can see there. These just get welded on anyway, so that oxide or mill scaled finish is probably better for welding anyway as far as spatter goes, but not so good to weld through, but depends on what amperage you're welding with. And same thing with these ones over here, the ones that there were 5 of. I'll just quickly show you those. So I didn't get all the material, as I mentioned. I only had enough to do 5, and of course hollow bar being as it is in my part of the world, so not about what you want, it's about what you can get. So I had to turn the OD. I'll just grab one of the other ones so I can show you. So they're the same size, but so I've kind of finished to the same size as each other. So they've got it matching back to the customer. So obviously those ones are more expensive, but the black finish is what the customer wanted, but with the hollow bar, not, as I said, you can't always get what you want. The OD on those is 81.76, I think, in that black finish, and I had just finished those to the same size, so those were up near 90 mil, so that's as best as I could get as close to. So as I say, that just adds a bit more price on, obviously, for material and for machining, so turn the OD down on that, all on the manual lathe. And you can see inside the bore there, the face and the spiral groove, as I mentioned. I was going to show you on the actual lathe running the actual job, but I don't want to make the video too long. I struggle enough to get people to watch my videos as it is without making the videos 20 minutes long or longer. So that's sort of like the groove inside there. Just cut that with a coarse thread, and just coming back on the manual mill, cutting the flat on there as I mentioned, to show you a little bit of that. Nothing too exciting, just come in with the face mill, cut about a 40 mil wide path on there, and then on the side with the drill and tap with the grease nipple. Before that, just going to face off the other end, face and chamfer this end, so it's all the machining's done from this side, and then come back and just cut that end to the correct height or length, depending on how you want to look at it, and just face off this end, so it's just straight off the bandsaw. So I've just cut those myself, and so that's where I'm going now with it, and just got 2 more to go. So there's one there and one in the lathe at the moment. As I mentioned, I thought about running the actual threading cycle, but I'm pretty sure you guys have seen bores run before. I forgot to mention the tools in the background there. You've probably seen them, the ID boring bar and the threading bar. So just running that spiral groove through. So it's sitting in the lathe now. That's those last 2 to go, and then getting up to that lunchtime part of the day again. So obviously not everything's done in one day. I've stopped and done other work in between, doing other things as well. So this is probably over about 3 days, this video. And some other welding jobs which are over on another bench. I've got to go out tomorrow, being Friday, and these to get finished, to get delivered as well while I'm out. So just get these last 2 done, and it is lunchtime again as soon as I get these finished. So I'll just take you over onto the mill just to finish up the video, and that'll probably do for this one. Back on the bench, pretty much where we started with the fixture I showed you at the start of the video, and making that part. I'll get it in a moment. Just working our way over into the manual mill now. I'll show you a little bit. I might get the camera sort of set up on a tripod maybe. So I've put a mark on the side there. Why I've done that is so when I drill and tap through the side, it will match up with the groove inside. So we've got the spiral groove inside there, so when we break through, I want to try and break into one of those grooves, and we're halfway up, so when we come through it is porting right into the center of the groove, not just in a random spot along the shaft, so it fills up the actual, so when they pump the grease in there, it's flooding up the groove, although it'll eventually find its way in there once the shaft starts turning, of course, but it's just to give me a reference, just to try and hit that point. So when you look inside, you'll see the hole going right into the center of the groove. Just looks like a bit better finished job. And those blocks, as we started from, with the fixture above, so there, like I've done, finished up doing about 80 of those, and I've stopped now because I've still got more to go. As I mentioned, 250 of those to go, but the machine's still set up, and hopefully I'll get those done before another job comes in. I have to pull it all down, but just trying to get everything, just juggling jobs at the moment, just trying to keep everybody happy, and just doing a few of those. So they'll get welded on Saturday, today being Thursday, and jobs to get ready to go out tomorrow at the moment. So that's what I'm focused on at the moment. This is going out. Some of these will go out probably next week now. I was hoping this week, but probably next week now. I've got too much to do. And a few other jobs that I was sort of working on, another welding job sitting on my bench I mentioned earlier. I won't worry about showing you that, but yeah, fair bit to go out tomorrow, and then back again here after dropping in a couple of customers and picking up some supplies back here again, and more work to do Friday afternoon and all day Saturday again. So, and having a rare day off on Sunday with my family. So, and then back again Monday to do it all over again. So So that's where we are with it at the moment. So that's all, so they're all done now with that hole going through there. As you've probably seen, was just welded onto that part before, but that's as it's sitting now, ready to get welded on. The plates are already sitting there, ready to do, so I'll get them done. I'll just take it over onto the manual mill now and have a look over there. And as usual, my videos are blowing out in time. So here's me talking about trying not to make a 20-minute long video, and here I am probably getting up towards 20 minutes now. So just held in some jaws that I've made up for the machine vise so I can hold taller parts, and just a 50mm face mill. I won't worry about showing you, it's not really much. I was going to set the tripod up, but it's getting too long. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen a face mill cutting the surface. So when I come down and cut, I just cut 1.5mm first in depth of cut, because most of it's radius, and then I go on 1mm depth of cut down from there down to 5.5mm to get me to the finished size. I'll just show you one finished anyway for the sake of it. Because I'm not showing you it on the mill, I'll just at least show you the part anyway. So that's where they're coming off anyway, with that flat bottom on there. And then, as I say, they get that grease hole ported in through the side, so just come back after I've done all these. I've got 2 more to do, so just come in, drill, tap through the side there, and as I say, that'll port into that hole there. Be good to get these finished, and just got to deburr the edge here where the face mills come through on this edge here. And then that's them done, and as I say, keep going with the job. So it's good to have a few jobs coming in and a bit to go on with at the moment, sort of hot and cold, but a little bit of work at the moment. So so I'll get onto that, and that'll probably do for this video. Thanks for watching if you've managed to stay this long. I've got an odd one there I need to put over, just got to give him a clean. So I've got him all lined up like tin soldiers. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, as I say. I'll just sort of bring you along, just trying to put something together for you guys, and sort of a bit of a day in the life of video. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, give us a like if you can, and look forward to seeing you on the next one, whenever that'll be. Okay, talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye for now.